For over 4 decades, Tom Cruise has been Hollywood's most reliable constant, a name that drew crowds, a face that lit up marquees, a performer who, rain or shine, gave studios exactly what they needed, a blockbuster they could count on. But somewhere between Mission Impossible Fallout and Top Gun Maverick, something changed. Cruise stopped being just another A-list action star. He became a force, becoming a movement, a defiant middle finger to everything Hollywood has turned into, formulaic, corporate, bloated, soulless. And now, he's not just impressing people, he's making them nervous. Because Tom Cruise isn't just doing movies, he's doing the impossible, both on screen and behind it. In an era when studios are stuffing theaters with CGI sludge, AI-generated scripts, and multiverse cash grabs, Cruise is out here jumping off cliffs, flying fighter jets, free-falling from 25,000 feet, and doing it all for real. Not for clicks, not for clout, but because he believes in cinema. And that's exactly why the industry is starting to panic. Behind the smiles and red carpet quotes, producers, executives, and even fellow actors are watching Cruise with a strange mix of awe and dread. Because every time he pulls off another death-defying stunt or breaks another box office record, he's not just succeeding, he's exposing them. He's proving that all the excuses Hollywood's been using for the last 10 years, audiences just want IP, streaming is the future, stars don't matter anymore, we're just that. Excuses. Cruise is the antidote to everything wrong with the modern movie machine, and that's what makes him dangerous. Let's break it down. When Cruise jumped out of a plane at 25,000 feet for Mission Impossible Fallout, it wasn't just for spectacle, it was a shot across the bow. It was a statement to every actor hiding behind green screens and stunt doubles, I still do the work. When he climbed cliffs and raced motorcycles off mountains in Dead Reckoning, it wasn't just adrenaline, it was defiant. Because Cruise doesn't just star in his movies, he builds them. From the script to the score to the marketing rollout, he's involved in every inch. He fights for practical effects. He demands precision. He doesn't care if it takes 100 takes. He'll do it until it's perfect. That kind of creative control terrifies Hollywood. Because the modern system isn't designed for artists like Cruise, it's designed for actors who show up, hit their mark, and move on. Cruise is rewriting the blueprint, and he's doing it without asking permission. And here's the twist, he doesn't need them. That's what scares them the most. Tom Cruise doesn't rely on a studio lifeline. Studios rely on him. He's one of the only stars left whose name alone can justify a $200 million budget. And when he delivers, he delivers. Top Gun Maverick didn't just succeed, it obliterated expectations. It became a cultural event. It brought people back to theaters post-COVID, and it did it with no superheroes, no time travel, no convoluted lore, just real jets, real pilots, real heart. And in doing that, Cruise revealed the truth. Audiences never stopped loving movies. They just stopped loving bad ones. That's the inconvenient truth that's keeping execs up at night. Because every Cruise success makes it harder to justify the endless parade of lazy reboots, soulless sequels, and streaming first schlock. Every time he climbs a mountain, the audience climbs with him, and they start asking dangerous questions. Why can't other movies feel like this? Why doesn't anyone else try this hard? And most of all, if Cruise can give us real stakes, why are we still paying for cartoons? It's not just about the movies, it's about the model. Cruise trains like an Olympic athlete. He rehearses like a Broadway veteran. He treats his crew like family. He's known for redoing takes not out of vanity but out of obsession. He doesn't post thirst traps on Instagram. He doesn't pick fights online. He doesn't sell NFTs or plug skincare brands. He makes movies. That's it. And that kind of purity, that kind of focus, it's terrifying in a town built on shortcuts and distraction. And it gets darker, because behind the scenes, there's a quiet fear growing among actors too. Not everyone is rooting for Cruise. Some are nervous. They know that if his style of movie making becomes the standard again, they'll have to work harder. They'll have to train, sweat, take real risks, say goodbye to safety nets and digital doubles, because Cruise is showing the world what commitment looks like. And that's a bar most people don't want to reach for. They want the paycheck, not the pain. Cruise wants legacy, and deep down, everyone in Hollywood knows it. And here's the most terrifying part. He's not done. Cruise is already planning his next revolution, an actual movie in outer space. Not green-screened, not simulated, actually shot beyond Earth. Insurance companies are panicking, studios are scrambling, but Cruise doesn't care, because he's not chasing trends, he's chasing timelessness. While everyone else is chasing TikToks and algorithms, he's building monuments, films that last, stories that matter, craft that's undeniable. And if he succeeds, Hollywood might have to admit that the future of film doesn't lie in more content, but in more courage. That's why they're afraid, not because Tom Cruise is loud, but because he's relentless, because he's everything they said was impossible, because he's proving that one man with vision, discipline, and fire can outwork the machine. And if audiences keep showing up for him, it means the industry will have to change. It means they'll have to stop treating movies like products and start treating them like art again. So smash that like button if you're done with lifeless, soulless cash grab films. Comment "Cruise is cinema" if you still believe in real storytelling and real stakes. Subscribe for more untold stories shaking the walls of Hollywood from the inside. Turn on the bell so you don't miss the next chapter in the rise of the last true movie star. Because the more Tom Cruise runs, across rooftops, down mountains, into the cockpit of a jet, the more he's dragging the soul of cinema with him. And the rest of Hollywood? They can either catch up or get left behind.